What's up, YouTube? Myers Life,
Myers Life.
Son of Source here,
Hey, I'm Dr. Myers.
and we are back with day three of Getting the Love You Want Challenge.
Yes, it's time.
Yes, have you been getting the love you want so far? I know we're early into
It made this.
How can you fix your marriage? You embarrassed, they be laughing at all them broken promises and flowers. Don't be passion back. You can get this course for no divorce, so just imagine that. 12 weeks of Myers Life will save you from the avalanche. How can you fix your marriage? You can fix your marriage. How can you fix your marriage? How can you fix your marriage? 12 weeks of Myers Life, we can fix your marriage. 12 weeks of Myers Life, how can you fix your marriage?
but it's day 3, Getting the Love You Want.
And this is going for 30 days, y'all.
Yes.
So
yes.
Tune in, look at the previous videos if you're just starting today, and start from day 1, go back, you know?
Yes, and get the love you want.
Yeah.
Get the love you want. Alright, so day 3, what are we talking about?
So we are talking about repetitive patterns.
Yes, things that continue to repeat in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have stuff that continue to reoccur in your life, and you just can't seem to break that cycle? That's what we're talking about today.
Right. And those patterns are keeping you away from the love you want.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Those patterns keep distancing you away from love. And the more you feel that pain, that emotion from that, the more you feel less loved.
Right. And a lot of times, the reason why they reoccur is because you're running from them, right? You're trying to do everything you can to prevent them from happening over and over again, or to control the situation. And then it just draws it closer to you.
Yeah, because the more you put that focus on it, the more it comes to you. And as far as the more you run, the more you don't address it, the more you don't clear it. You have to clear it. You have to address it. You have to face it head on. Go within and face it. Why am I running from this issue? Why am I running from this problem? And why does it keep reoccurring in my life?
Right. So to overcome that pattern, you have to walk right through it.
You have to. You have to. So that way you're stronger. You get an education. You know, okay, this is why I had to go through this. So why do people have these patterns in their lives?
Trauma, bad things that happen in our childhood, bad things that happen in society, like major things happen. Like we're all living through this virus, which has been quite traumatic for a lot of people. You know, people have lost people are isolated, people have lost jobs, their ways of life. So this is a traumatic incident that we as a society, as a collective, is facing right now. So out of that births certain anxieties. And that's how these patterns continue to manifest themselves.
You feel less love, you know? And because of all the distance, we can't really handshake or hug like we used to. We can't even really see each other's faces because of masks, you know, unless you actually know that person pre-COVID. You know, if you knew that person pre-COVID, then you know what they look like or whatever, you know, if you're passing them, you know, every day. But you're lacking that love. So that's what we want to say as far as adding that love back. It's more like adding a wholeness to you.
So we really would like to hear from you guys. What patterns keep resurfacing in your lives? You know, put it in the comment section. Let us know. Like, what is it that you keep facing over and over again? Is it bad credit? Is it that bad date that you're dating, you're out there, you're trying to meet people, but it's the same type of people you're running into? Maybe somebody that's a cheater, maybe somebody that's really cheat, maybe somebody that's a bad communicator. You know, what are those characteristics and traits that you're running into over and over again?
Yeah, and you feel those same emotions over and over again too. It's almost like you're anchored in it, you know?
Right.
And you're in a little boat, it's like tidal waves, and they're rushing back and forth, and you're anchored in this pain and emotion and frustration. And then every time you see it, you're like, oh man, I'm back in the boat.
There it
I'm
is.
anchored back in it. So you got to get that anchor out, and you got to sail away from this problem. But the way you do it is getting that anchor out.
Right.
What's holding you from moving forward? What's holding that anchor in?
And that anchor was put in place by your earlier experiences. So if you had a parental figure that maybe cheated on maybe your other parent, you know, and you grew up seeing a lot of infidelity in your childhood or home, maybe that energy needs to be cleared in your life while it keeps resurfacing over and over again. So, look at those traits and characteristics of the situations and people in your life early on and see if there are any patterns that you're experiencing now, today.
Right. Maybe it's the same type relationships that you're facing. It could be a lot of abuse and things like that you're facing in your relationships too. So it's like you have to make sure that you address those things within yourself and know that you're worthy to have wholeness and completion, because that's what we're really looking for, is that wholeness, things that make us happy, to maybe get into a safe community, or to where people give you that love that you need, because that's really what we're missing, because everything we do is like a bid for affection,
Right.
So we're missing that love. So you want to add that love back to any situation that you may have felt negative emotion in and things like that, and just go back to that thought and see where you've lost that love or felt that separation from love.
Right.
Because
those situations take a piece from us. And we go throughout our lives trying to be whole again.
Yeah.
So we're trying to fill those pieces back in. And we look to certain people and situations, whether it be careers, whether it be certain lifestyles that we choose, certain people we date, to kind of fill those pieces back into again so that we can feel whole.
Because let's face it, it kind of turns us into the people that we are. And then you look back, and then if you see that you're happy as the person that you are, then, hey, this is your life. But if you feel like you've had a lot of pain and you hurt and you hurt other people and you feel stress and there's a lot of negativity around you and all of those things, then that lets you know that you've kind of separated yourself from things that make you happy, things that make you feel whole and complete, things that make you feel creative or maybe feel wanted or needed, maybe understood. All of these things are things that people search for and really want in their lives, but they find it in the wrong areas, or maybe just they find negativity continue to repeat itself because it's drawn back into their lives.
Right, because it hasn't cleared yet.
Right.
So, the first few days was really about kind of meditating. Today, if you're doing this with your partner, you guys do it together.
Yeah.
Listen to the dialogue that follows, and it will give you direct instructions as to how to follow through with today's activity.
Yes. So we love you, and we want you to know that we're always fighting for you. We're always sending out love and good energy and good vibes, because that is really what we need right now. This connection, this whole thing of connecting and giving love to each other is really the most important thing that we can do as for humanity.
It is.
For each other, for humanity. It's important.
And we are blessed
to
have found our purpose together. And that purpose is to just give love and to help others love themselves more.
Yes, and we're always going to continue that purpose. That purpose of Yeshua, of just giving love, continue. And that's what we're going to continue to do. He's going to be behind us all the way, and in front of us and around us all the time. And we want you to know that you are loved always. So day 3 of Getting the Love You Want challenge.
That's right. Let's get it.
Mine's life.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why the same type of problems keep reoccurring in your life? Have you ever wondered why you picked your partner? It's a complicated story, and it goes like this: each of us was wounded in very specific ways, depending on our temperament and our caretakers, and the societal rules by which we were raised. Thus, for each of us exists a particular recipe for healing, specific needs that must be for us to feel whole and loved. And guess what? The necessary ingredients for that healing are possessed by our partners or problem situations. Yes, this partner, career, or situation that frustrates you or ignores you is the key to your healing. Not only that, but the very traits that hurt and infuriate you are the most vital ingredients in that recipe. This situation was the choice of your unconscious, which scanned the candidates you encountered for a mate or other relationship that match the image formed in childhood of the person who can make me whole. This image is composed of both the positive and negative traits of your caretakers, though the negative traits, which had the most profound effect on your wounding, tend to dominate. You see, the unconscious has an agenda to finish childhood, that is, to get from a relationship who resembles our caretakers what our caretakers didn't give us, so that we can correct that early experience and heal those old wounds. Life-changing activity number 3. Make a list of 3 negative traits that your parents or caretakers had. Now list negative traits of your partner or other challenging relationship. This could even be the relationship with yourself. Compare them. Can you see the similarities? Drawing hope from a time of solitude, I see my partner or other relationships as a perfect fit. I acknowledge this thought with a reverence. In spite of all our differences, we belong together. Thank you.
I'm alive, 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine, 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout, take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, gotta find a way to follow. And if you do, you have
The Myers helped me face the issues that were tearing my relationship apart. They provided a safe environment to work through those difficult issues associated with our children, work, finances, trust, and intimacy. I feel I achieved a closeness and a renewed commitment to my relationship. I highly encourage couples to face their challenges and give the Myers a call.
We want to thank the Myers for all of their support. We were on the brink of a divorce.
We just could not communicate. We would have the same argument over and over again.
But after a great deal of reflection, we actually enjoy being around each other again. You taught us skills that have helped us manage conflict.
Yeah, we had a great spiritual conversation with a couple that had vested interest in helping us find our peace.
As a startup entrepreneur, I have been able to leverage the Myers coaching. First of all, they are a sounding board for my personal anxieties as I develop and fine-tune my leadership. I would get so irritated. I now have a plan to manage my anger and a support system that holds me accountable. They are non-judgmental people with tremendous skill and talent, an asset for anyone trying to develop professionally.